morning. It's Monday morning, and we already have the chicken stock going. Didn't get the vegetables in yet. I just throw in carrots, celery, onion. Don't even peel the carrots. They are organic carrots, though. Anyway, just dump them in there. I have the 3 carcasses in there. You know, water up to there. Remember, we put the vinegar in it last night. And so I'm going to let this go until probably dinner time tonight, at which time we'll be back to show you how we strain it and put it in jars. Okay, we're back. Chicken stock is done. It's been going for probably almost 12 hours. What I like to do is just pull all the pieces out and put them onto a cookie sheet and kind of get them to cool off a little bit before I start picking at it, because it's still very, very hot. And one thing I wanted to remind you, I absolutely do not recommend this with a store-bought chicken. I'd rather you not do it with a store-bought chicken, with what they are fed and how they are raised. And I just really encourage you to seek out a local farm that maybe has organic chicken or at least free-range chickens. Or, you know, it's really worth it to buy an organic chicken or 2 at your grocery store. Because as you see, we've gotten, I think I told you, 2 very full chicken meals, 2 very full lunches, a couple of 3-ounce chicken breasts for myself for a lunch, and when I'm done here, I'll even have enough for another lunch, which is like a stir-fried rice with little bits of chicken in it. So we'll let this cool a little bit, and I'll come back and show you how much I got. There probably isn't that much because I did do a pretty good job of picking it the first time, but we'll see what we get, and then I'll show you how we put it in jars. Okay, see how much chicken I got just from repicking it? Around the neck, there is a ton of really tasty meat. What I like to do is have gloves on. For one, I don't like greasy chicken all over my hands. Anyway, what I like to do after especially off the neck, because sometimes there's little pieces of bone, I like to just kind of rub it in between my fingers, just to make sure I got the bones. Most of the bones are pretty soft anyway at this point, but anyway, you know the stir-fried chicken like you get in a restaurant, and it's got those really fine pieces of tasty chicken? This is what this will be for. This is plenty to put in stir-fried rice. I'll fry up some vegetables, a bunch of them, throw this in some rice and some Bragg's or soy sauce, and I've got a tasty lunch. Okay, we're going to strain the chicken broth. What I like to do is maybe have a fine mesh one in there to kind of catch it. You can do it through cheesecloth or fabric or whatever if you're that fussy. I'm not. I have 2-quart jars in here we'll fill up. Let them cool overnight in the fridge, and tomorrow we're going to bag them up. So this is what we do. You know, I wanted to mention, too, that this might seem like a lot of work. And it's extra work for sure, but today for lunch, we were able to throw together a soup because I had chicken stock in the freezer, and I had chicken cut up for it, and I have 2 lunches out of that. So I cooked soup once, and I have 2 lunches just like I cooked my chicken once, and I have several meals out of it. Tomorrow night is our leftover chicken day, and we have, tomorrow we're having white chili. All I have to do is throw it together. Again, I have the stock already made up. I have the chicken already cut up and cooked, and so it's like a 15-minute prep job. So all the work that looks like you're doing on Sunday and Monday, it really saves you time later on in the week. Okay, so far I've gotten 6 quarts. Obviously, it depends on how much water you put in when you start. We're going to have to get some more jars here. Yep. Okay, we got a little over 9 quarts of stock for our efforts. As you can see, the chicken kind of gave its all. If my grandma were still here, she probably would get a whole nother meal out of that. Tomorrow we'll come back and I'll show you quickly how we put them into Ziploc bags and freeze them flat so they're ready. Okay, we're back for our last installment of how we can afford to feed our family organic chicken. So the stock has been in jars overnight that we put in the fridge to cool off, and usually seals shut. Usually it's thicker than this. You kind of want it to be that gelatin, like Jell-O. That really tells you got a lot of the good stuff out of the bones. This is a lot thinner than I normally have, and I think in part it's because my chickens were so small and I had a tremendous amount of water. I probably should have had less water and would have got a more concentrated stock. But still, it's great for you, and it's far better than the bouillons or chicken stock that you buy in the store. Obviously, it doesn't have MSG in it. I like to put 1 quart in a bag. Sometimes I'll do 2, but 1 quart's easy. To add to recipes. It's easier to freeze flat. If you only need a piece of it, sometimes I'll whack it on the counter while it's frozen and get a hunk of it off. But so I just sort of add in half of this, which will be 4 cups or 1 quart. See, oh, that's a little bit of Jell-O there. I've had it to where it's just thick Jell-O globbing out of there, and then you know you really made some good chicken stock. So I get all the air out of it, and what I do is I lay them on these pans, and we'll freeze them like that. And so then when all is said and done, in my freezer, in our deep freeze, I have just chicken stock stacked up that I can just go reach in there and grab one. I also like to freeze some in these containers. We use these for when we're making our chicken. We throw one of these in the bottom of the pan to kind of add with the juices, like I had said earlier, to make a nice gravy. And so we'll freeze these guys too. Or if I just need a cup or 2 of something, like I make chicken enchiladas and it takes just 1 cup of chicken stock, I can go ahead and get one of these out instead of those. And I made white chili today. It's on the stove right now, and that called for 2 quarts of stock. So I was able just to use one of these guys instead of having to even thaw one out. And I try to plan my meals. If I'm going to use the chicken stock that week, I'll kind of try to plan with when I have it. And, sometimes I make this every other week, and so I might have 4 chicken carcasses in, and that's probably when I get the really rich stock. So I don't have to do it every week. And I think that's about it. I hope that helps you figure out how you can feed your family organic chicken and stretch it as far as you can. Thanks.